Some of the examples of the interventions are very obtainable, but because this model is a high school model, you see that we sometimes at the intensive intervention, that may be a comprehensive homeschool plan. In other words, we might have a social worker working with that family on an ongoing basis. An outreach plan, that means that student is, I have a situation right now where the student is 17, 1.5 credits. I used to be in elementary, I don't know what that means. Well, but now I'm in high school. That means that that child is not going to get 22 credits, 26 credits by the time they're 18. So we have to do an outreach restorative plan, and it's very intensive. And that student may choose to not participate. In other words, they may have already decided, I'm not going to do that. All right, so then we have to look at options. Night school, Success High School, alternative, charter. But our goal is to get our students graduated, and that's where we talk about at risk of not graduating, not fulfilling the purpose for which school exists. We want them to all have an exit plan. The thing about RTI, I think at every level, is deciding what is a Tier 2. We know Tier 1 is our core program. We know that Tier 3 is bad. But what about Tier 2? And this is where I think working with our teachers helps us to define our Tier 2, because our teacher group helps us to know what is keeping that student from being successful in a Tier 1. What extra push, that extra support, what could possibly help them in order to cross over? They may not hit the 90 words per minute, but they may be able to do 75 just fine. You know, it's not a crime to be a slow reader, okay? That does exist. But check the comprehension. Is that still intact even though they're reading slowly? Okay, if that's the case, wonderful. So we're going to need to, for example, STAR 5-hour assessment. So we're going to need to give you a pacing plan, because otherwise you're going to only get to the third selection and you're not going to finish the test. So we've got to create a strategy to help you to finish, to be successful. So those are the sorts of things that we have to talk about in a Tier 2, because it's very difficult to define, and this is where I think it's important to define your Tier 2 with your teaching staff.